he has with Walter?
It's a great question. He, you know, when I meet Walter, he's that little boy, and I'm very curious about him. But I realize how special he is. I can recognize what an asset he would be, and it is our idea to take him and bring him back to America and protect him, especially when we find out how high his IQ is. While we're working together, we're doing something, and I'm being very honest with him what we're trying to do, but the government uses the technology that he's created and used it for something completely different. So he thought it was going to help people. It ended up hurting people, innocent people, and he was really pissed and basically told me to F off, and I don't want to work with you again, and he doesn't trust me now. So part of this story is me trying to find redemption with him. There's a little bit of it. I lost my job in New York. I moved to LA. It's not like I voluntarily did it. I had to come out here. This is my last ditch effort. And I want to appeal to him and say, hey, I want you to work. I want to work with you again. We can do this. We can work together, and it's going to all be good. And I think my character's looking for closure. You know, I want to make this right between me and Walter. And I'm going to work real hard at it. And hopefully I work at it for 20 years on CBS. Monday nights at 9.
What was it about Scorpion as a show that impressed you and made you want to be part of it?
It's a great script, and it's hard to really say what it's about. It's a great script, and it's hard to really pinpoint and say it's a this, because I don't really know what it is. I mean, Nick Santora calls it a funsiger, which is a hard word to say, funsiger. And it is. There's going to be some humor. You've got heroes. You've got these wonderful stories that I think are going to be fascinating to people. I mean, we live in the age of information, and it's a show that it's a hybrid. It's a really unique show, I think. Technology's so fast, everything's happening so fast, I think we'll be right on the edge of it. You know what I mean? And yet my character is still sort of back in the past and has an appreciation for the way things used to be. And we don't have to shun all that. We can bring a little bit of that along. There was some good common horse sense there that was still applicable to today's events, but I think he's also open enough and receptive enough to use these new ways of thinking and new approaches to things. So
your character works for an organization that has a lot of rules, bureaucracy, certain way of doing things, and these guys
exactly
have pretty much seen their fabric.
It's embarrassing.
Is there?
It's really embarrassing.
With your superiors and
it's already happened. The first episode. That's exactly where we are right now. I've got to now try to explain the concept of protocol, procedures. You can't do that. I know that makes sense to you, but that's not how it works here. You know, it's a lot of that. And then I've got to get the military guys to understand that these guys are going to think outside the box, and that's what I want them to do. So I'm keeping the government here and these guys here and trying to find some sort of middle ground that we can work with and keep advancing us along and fixing things. Problem solving. Some of the stuff that Walter's told me about is he's been given problems or like where a base is put in Afghanistan or something like that, and he can try to figure out where the attack is going to be, where we're vulnerable. God bless you. Hypotheticals and that's the kind of thinking I want. Like, who can think of flying planes into the World Trade Center before it happens? You know what I'm saying? That gives me a lot of confidence. What is the next thing? And it's scary times, man. I mean, pick up the newspaper if you still read it. Look at the front page. The shit that's going on out there in the real world is pretty scary. I'd like to know that, and I am comforted to know that I actually know the guy that's kind of putting his brain on it, trying to figure out how to cool it out. You know what I mean?
Well, that scenario in the pilot with the air traffic control and the planes, that was pretty scary. And that
It's very
actually,
scary. And then
yeah.
2 weeks later, after we shot the pilot, that really happened at LAX. They had a problem. They had to fix. And they called Walter O'Brien. No, they didn't.
But is your character going to be interacting with the rest of Walter's team?
Absolutely, every one of them. I have to learn to appreciate each and every one of them for what they can do. But I don't acquiesce to any of them. I mean, I'm still the guy. It's a real fascinating character. I mean, for that reason, I can't discount them. I have to be respectful, but I get to be frustrated with them. I mean, it's just there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to get to play, and I'm going to find the humor with this guy all the way through it, which is a real fun aspect for me. And I hope I really, I'm able to do that, and people have a lot of fun with it. I said this on these other tables. I'm trying to find some analogies to work with, but if you remember Ed Asner, Lou Grant on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, that's kind of the thing, like a heart of gold, but a little cantankerous. You know what I mean?
Kind of cranky.
Yeah, a little cranky. Well, I deserve it.
Does he hate spunk?
Does he what?
Does he hate spunk?
I can't remember that reference. What do you mean?
Lou Grant. Ed Asner.
Is it okay? Well, you've caught me there. I can't remember that specifically, but my recollection of that show. I mean, I'm trying to think of that. I'm sure there's some other ones I can get.
What's your favorite aspect of your character you're looking forward to playing?
Well, the favorite aspect, I think, it really is the relationship with Walter, of that dynamic. I mean, I have kids, so I'm approaching him that way. How to be respectful, but how to guide. How to be nurturing and allow them to fail. That whole dilemma that we have to work with. Is that a good aspect?
As a parent,
Yeah. Are you a parent?
No, not yet.
You'll be a good one.
How does Gallo get along with Paige? Is she kind of his translator between the group?
How does who?
Gallo get
How do I get along with Paige?
Yeah. Is she like
I'm
the
reaching out to
translator?
I'm reaching out to Paige's character right now and saying, I thought you were, literally, I'm going to give you some quotes of dialogue we're doing right now. I thought you were the normal one, can't you? Shouldn't you have tried to stop them from doing this? I mean, that's kind of what I expect from you. If you're going to be on this team, I need you to do this. You've got to do that. You got to help me. Can't you help me? Because I got my hands full.
Great, thank you.
Was that pretty good?